Dom McGuinness is with us, our Northwest editor, a man, what he knows about football, you could write in Encyclopedia Britannica and still run out of space, believe me. Dom's with us now. Dom, the England team's been announced. There's a few question marks there, some of them from your part of the world. No Rio Ferdinand, no Michael Carrick. Richards is out. I mean, I hope there's not some sort of a bias coming into play against the Northwest.
No, I think I needed a bigger build-up there. I'm not sure that my encyclopedic knowledge is quite enough to satisfy my huge ego, Mike, but I do appreciate your efforts there. But I think in terms of the England squad announcement and Roy Hodgson and the players that he has picked and hasn't, as far as the Northwest is concerned, Manchester United fans are particularly pleased that there won't be a Rio Ferdinand and a Michael Carrick and potentially a Paul Scholes and whoever else you want to add to that list, because, of course, they don't want any United players there, basically, and that's pretty much the overriding feeling. As far as City fans are concerned, many are quite disappointed that the likes of Adam Johnson doesn't get the nod and Downing does. So, from that point of view, Micah Richards, that's a bizarre one completely, because he's been outstanding, really, for the majority of the season. So, with all of that in mind, Mike, I want to ask you a question, actually, because you've seen the squad, you've had time to analyse it, you're a huge England fan, you never miss an opportunity to go and follow your team. With all that in mind, would you now be confident? Would you put your shirt on England to win Euro 2012?
Well, actually, I would never doubt them, and I would never say that's impossible, because I'm ever the optimist with any team I support, and certainly with England. But I tell you this, stranger things have happened, because actually, Dom, you and I were in Portugal in 2004. Who won Portugal 2004 against the home nation?
It wasn't
Greece.
It wasn't England.
No, it wasn't England. I agree.
England, I'll tell you what, that was the last thing. That was the last tournament where England actually looked dangerous.
Yeah. Sorry?
That was the last tournament where England actually looked dangerous and capable of winning it.
They did, and if we hadn't been, beaten bizarrely by France in the opening game of that, I think, we'd have got through.
Well, they recovered from that. It was the quarter-final against Portugal after Rooney went off.
Yeah, I think that what you could counter that argument with, though, I mean, Greece had a settled, harmonious squad that had been working together for a while. Now, this squad, whatever happens, you can't really say it's harmonious. You can look at the John Terry argument all day if you want to kind of throw that in there. But also the fact that, with Capello and him going at that point, Hodgson being brought in now, there is in one way it's good because there is such low expectation in many ways. But you look at that squad and, would you tell me that's a particularly strong England squad?
No.
Gerrard's the captain, he's an excellent player, but you're already talking about whether or not he can play with Lampard. Who's going to play up front with no Rooney for a couple of games? Andy Carroll and not over, even Peter Crouch seems a little bit strange. And then you look at, Downing, who I mentioned earlier, he got in the squad. Your goalkeeper at Everton, Tim Howard, has scored more Premier League goals this season than he has.
He has, I know. Look at that. I mean, we've all agreed in the studio here to a man, the Downing thing is bizarre. What's the relationship between Roy Hodgson and Downing from their Liverpool days?
No, because
Downing came afterwards. Obviously, Roy didn't want to get over to the Northwest and watch Man United or Man City. He's been watching Sky and watching Gary, and everyone got him into the squad. And it's for me, it's underwhelming. This English squad. I don't think they'll do well to get out the group stages.
Just hang on a sec, please, because just to bring another element to the show, let's have a look at the Rio Ferdinand tweet in response to the fact that he's not going to be a member of this squad. I'll read it to you. Absolutely love playing for England. To say I'm gutted is an understatement of the highest order. Now, that to me, Dom, illustrates a man who's not had a gentle chat with Roy Hodgson before this has all happened. He's been hit with it like a bolt from the blue and didn't expect it. What is the interpretation up there in the Northwest about Ferdinand not being in the squad and John Terry being in the squad?
Well, again, I'd reiterate that from the United supporters' perspective, they're quite happy.
Well, I know they are, but Rio Ferdinand's not, clearly.
Well, Rio Ferdinand obviously isn't, but I think that if you look at the fact that, Rio obviously is disappointed and he's making that clear. Roy Hodgson said that, of course, he took it with great grace and wished himself and the team all the best. You look at Rio's record, 7 clean sheets out of 10 in the last games that he started at Manchester United, and there's a strong argument for taking him. I mean, Sir Alex Ferguson said, as we discussed this a few days ago, Mike, that, he wasn't fit to play, 2 games in 4 days. And Hodgson alluding to the fact that he had a chat with Sir Alex Ferguson about Rio and everything else. But you would have thought that it would sound by Rio, it'd sound because of his tweets that maybe he wasn't involved in that kind of conversation, if it has come as a bolt from the blue. So, a big decision by Hodgson and one that if you look at Ferdinand and the fact that he's never played in a Euro tournament, if you go back to the time he was banned for, listening to drugs tests and everything else, it's remarkable, really, isn't it, that, he's not got that to his bone.
Dom, I have to say, Alex Ferguson must be laughing his head off. Roy's fallen for it. hook, line and sinker. He can't play every 4 days. Well, he's played the last 12 games with Man United. You know, and he's absolutely fallen for it. And if you're saying to me, I know that people have argued me, that Phil Jones is a better centre-back than Rio Ferdinand at this moment in time, then you're talking rubbish. If you're saying that Lescott, better centre-half than Ferdinand, then you're talking rubbish. You're saying Cahill, then you're talking rubbish.
The other thing they're losing.
World-class centre-half.
I think Terry, in contrast to Terry's quite a divisive character. I think there's a few players in the squad who aren't too keen on him. Rio Ferdinand, if the cliques in the England squad are to be believed, there's a problem between the north-based players and the south-based players. Well, Rio Ferdinand has strong connections with London. He knew Lampard, you know, and others from when he was growing up. He also has the connection with Manchester United. I think he's a bit of a unifying character, and they're going to miss that when they're together for 4 to 6 weeks.
I think that's interesting. It also, as well, you know, you look at the fact that Terry is now in the squad, but Steven Gerrard is the captain. You know what happened in South Africa and some of the rumblings that were going on there. Does Steven Gerrard have to watch his back a wee bit? I mean, will he feel completely secure?
No, that's a very good point, that seriously is, because John Terry's got something wrong in his head, that even if he's not wearing the captain's armband, he still believes himself to be the strongest character in the squad, and he's even said before, oh, you can have 6 captains on a pitch. You can't actually. No. You can only have 1 when you're coming out of the tunnel.
It's a nonsense that the FA have taken the captain's armband away from him and then said to the new manager, you decide who goes anyway. And he takes... if you're going to take the captain's armband, he can't go to the European Championship.
Dom, we've got to move on, mate, because we've got loads of people who want to get on this fizzing firecracker of a show, but none of them will be of the quality of yourself. So when you're a 2012, send that to me and I'll wear it when we go.
That's Ireland.
Oh, Ireland. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, you held it too high and I didn't see the Ireland bit. I haven't suddenly turned green, believe me.
Pin England's shirt down, Mike, don't you worry.
Thank you very much indeed, my son. Stay ahead of the game with Sports Tonight Live. Don't miss a thing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search for Sports Tonight Live on Facebook and like our fan page. Follow Sports Tonight TV on Twitter and tweet us your thoughts and opinions. Sports Tonight Live, it's the platform for the fans.